Got asked a really interesting question the other day. This person basically asked me, do I think it's a good idea to try and find people who are either older than you or just further along down the line of like achieving something you want to achieve and finding out stuff from them and asking them questions and then how to actually go about doing that? And I thought it was a really good question, and the short answer is absolutely yes. Like, the quickest way I've always found if you want to achieve something is basically find someone who's done exactly what you want to do and then study them and ask them questions and basically copy exactly what they did, because success leaves clues. So if you want to, if someone's achieved like the lifestyle that you want to someday achieve, just find out like what they do, like how do they approach work, how they do they approach money, like what are their mindsets, like finding out all those things. It's always going to be the quickest way, because Warren Buffett, who I think is the second richest person in the world, has a famous quote which he basically says, the only way people learn is by mistakes, but they don't have to be yours. So what you'll find is that a lot of times these people who have achieved things, they'll have made a ton of mistakes and spend all this time trying to get where they want to get. And you can basically remove all those mistakes and obstacles from your own life if you just take heed of what they've done. So whether it's like someone who's achieved like a certain level of income or a certain career or a certain lifestyle or whatever, just you can avoid the same traps that they went through just by talking to them and asking questions. So yes, absolutely, it's worth doing. And in terms of like tactically, how do you actually like develop friendships with those sort of people? There's I can think of like three things that are worth keeping in mind when you're trying to ask for advice or like sort of get like a mentor relationship with someone. And the first thing is find ways to help these people. So no matter how like far along in life people are or whatever, they're always going to need help in something. And a lot of people think, oh, I don't really have anything to offer, like I'm just starting out or whatever. But it doesn't even have to be complicated. Like, to give an example, there's I filmed another video about this. There's a guy, James Swanwick. He owns this sleep company, and he sort of built it from nothing to over $1 million in sales in less than a year. And yeah, I follow a lot of his stuff, and I just wanted to like learn from him. So sort of ask him a few questions about how he got to where he got. And he lives in America, but was in Melbourne where I live, and just something simple. I offered him a lift to the airport. Like he needed a ride. He needed to go catch a plane, and I was able to give him a lift. And it's about a 40-minute drive, so I got to ask him a bunch of questions. So it doesn't have to be like, you might think you don't have anything to offer, but it can be something simple like that, just like offering a lift to the airport. And the second thing I'd say as well is just ask. Don't be afraid to actually ask for advice. And again, I filmed another video on this, but really, people love giving advice, and most people who have achieved something, they actually want to be like asked for advice, and they're happy to like pass on what they've learned to you. So people actually see it as like a good thing to be able to share their knowledge. So don't be afraid to ask people for advice when if they have achieved something you want to achieve, and then you can learn like what are those mistakes, those pitfalls you can avoid, stuff like that. And sort of leading on from that, the third thing is actually follow up with these people. So it's one thing to either help them out or ask them for advice or whatever, but when you actually do that, actually follow up afterwards and show them how you've implemented what you learnt from them and how it's like affected you. Because a lot of the time people will ask for advice and then someone will like give their opinion and try to help the person, but then the person either doesn't follow through with what they've been told, or they just never hear from them again. So um, it's it's satisfying for that person who you're trying to get help from if they can know that what they've done has actually impacted you, and it helps sort of develop that relationship. So rather than just being a one-time thing where you ask a question and then disappear, you can keep it going. Like, for example, in both those cases I was talking about before, I've kept in touch with those people. Like, I've got James Saunders' contact details, and we email every now and then. And this other guy that I spoke to in his house, like next time I was in the area, I just dropped a letter in his box with my contact details, and we sort of keep in touch. So yeah, just keep those relationships going, and and show how they helped you. So yeah, to summarize, really, it's absolutely like it's key to sort of find those mentor mentee relationships, and it doesn't have to be like official or whatever. Just yeah, like asking people for advice who are further down the line. It's always going to be the quickest and easiest way to get where you want to go. So and yeah, if you follow those three things, that'll definitely help out with that. So yeah, hope that helps a bit, and please subscribe to this channel if you find these videos interesting. I'll keep doing more, and I'll speak to you soon.